Okay. All right. I should probably go get my other mouse, but I think I'm just gonna hop right into it. So today I'll be doing some work in Resolume. There's this thing I like to do where I like to challenge myself to see how many looks I can make with only one image. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be taking a piece of my artwork, which is this thing. This is actually based off of a painting of mine, but I took a picture of it and I decided to animate it. So we're gonna see what I can do with this, see how many different looks, how many different effects I can throw on top of this to basically, like, in a way, make a loop pack from it. So let's see, what are we gonna do? All right, I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. It's going a little bit too fast for me. I think I have it at like 30 frames, but let's slow it down. Let's see if I can enlarge this. So this is kind of just what I do in general when I am playing around with finding or just putting together clips and like compositions in my Resolume deck. I'm just kind of like doing stuff. Like I'm just kind of throwing effects on clips that I have, either like if it's my own artwork or something that I've purchased. So we're gonna start off simple with a mirror. I'm gonna duplicate this because I'm gonna make a bunch of different stuff. So yeah, we got this mirror modifier. That's kind of cool. We can use that as like a background sort of thing. Let me try enlarging it. All right, I'm gonna update the thumbnail by pressing Control-Shift-T. We're gonna duplicate this again by just clicking and holding Control and then just clicking and dragging it. We're gonna put a different effect. Well, maybe no. We might keep. Let me make sure I've said. We might keep the same. Let's throw like a regular mirror modifier on it. I have flip, so let's do this. Let's rotate. Maybe, I don't know. That's something. Oh, whoops! I just realized you can't see me playing around with the clip. So let me rearrange my thing. Okay. So you can see how I have my effects stacked up. Okay. Okay. So I have a mirror transform. We're gonna throw a radial cloner on this because why not? Now we have that. We're gonna tweak this. Gonna turn down the start radius a little bit. Hold on, let me pause it to make sure. You know, or that, I might just pause it. So I actually might take away the start scale and just have it stationary like that as it's spinning. That's kind of cool. So I kind of like that. So I'm gonna press Control Shift T to update my thumbnail. I'm gonna duplicate this one again and tweak it a little bit more. So I'm gonna put the start rotation at 180 degrees, and I'm gonna throw another mirror onto it. Okay. What did I say? I'm gonna put a mirror. Now where you place the effects can make a difference. So if I put this flip at the bottom, I need to be able to see my preview. If I put the flip at the bottom, and now if I move it, I can kind of make these really cool radial, almost like kaleidoscope effect, but that's not what I want to do. I'm going to put a transform on this so I can move it how I want to move it. I'm gonna put the flip below it, and yeah, I want it like that. Yep. Let me scale it up. Maybe scale it up. No, I kind of like it like that. All right, so I'm gonna update the thumbnail for this. So far we have like 3 different looks. Well, we have 4. We have the original, we have this, we have this, and we have something like this. Like I said, after I'm done, you can then kind of layer these on top of each other and add even more effects. Let's see. I kind of want to take this one and see what else I can do to it. So I'm just gonna look through my effects to see what I have, and I'm just kind of gonna throw random things in and see what looks good. I'm going to play around with the hierarchy of the effects. This is kind of interesting. If I take the mirror off, kind of like it with the mirror. Let's see. If I add a shift tilt, I like adding shift tilts to things. Let's see if I add a vignette. How will that look? Let's tweak this a little bit. Okay. I kind of like that. That could be used as like maybe a background of some sort. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this one again, and I'm gonna like play around with this one a little bit more. What can I do to this one to make it look kind of cool? So we have grid cloner. Whoops, it's the wrong thing. Wait a minute. It's not fully... There we go. Okay, now I think if I increase the scale, if I put it on delay, I kind of like the delay effect. Going to add a drop shadow just to give it a little bit more pop. I know other people are not going to be like paying attention if something has a drop shadow or not, but I can notice. So we're going to add a drop shadow. Okay. Let me make sure I save. I'm going to adjust the strength of it. And now I can play around with the radial effect. Like, I don't know how many. I mean, the grid cloner effect, you know, just to play around with the amount of columns and rows and stuff like that. So I very much like this. So what I'm gonna do is kind of put it like that. We're gonna update it. And so we can have things behind it as well as in front of it. So I'm gonna duplicate this one at the top again. I just want to see what this will look like if I add cube tiles to it. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, that's kind of interesting looking. Yeah, that's actually really trippy. Let's see, what can I do here? I could have the X, either one of, I can just have it rotate. It doesn't really matter which axis. So I'll put a BPM sync on the rotate of the x-axis, and let me see, what can I come down here and do? That looks interesting. I could animate the height so it goes in and out. So I'll have it go in and out from maybe 1.5 to 0.4. We'll do that range maybe. Okay, let me just set this. Oh, whoops, I did wrong. Oh, I'm doing the width. That's fine. That's fine, actually. It actually looks cool, too. So we'll do it bouncing, so it goes back and forth. Let's see. Could possibly add a rotation to it. That would be kind of cool. So I could just kind of do that. Trying to think, would that be too much? Sometimes I don't really like to overdo it too much. Sometimes I want things to look really chaotic and complex, but then I'm like, let's have a little bit of simplicity. I want there to be movement, but sometimes not too much movement, since I'll probably be adding more effects on top. Like when I'm manually triggering effects, like over the entire composition, I don't want it to be too much. All right, let's update the thumbnail. I just want to see. I'm gonna add a tilt shift to this one as well. I kind of want. We're gonna take this off. I actually don't want the width to be moving. I want the height. So yeah, I'm gonna put it how I originally wanted it to be. And then we'll bounce it. Could do some interesting enveloping things, but I don't know, maybe. Okay. So as of right now, let's say we have like 5, 6 different looks, and we can go through them. We have a regular skull guy, the original image that I started from. We have this radial image. We have this clip, just a mirrored image, another mirrored image. Then we go up to the top, and we have those two. So all using one image, one PNG, and just kind of putting different effects on top of it. I've been able to make, boom, like a six clip loop pack basically. So right now I'm going to continue. We're gonna continue seeing what else we can do with this. All right. And then like this is just kind of like if I start combining them and doing like the overlay of clips on top of each other, you know, and then I can change it up if I want to put these on top and do something like that. Let me see, I'm gonna add a tilt shift to this one as well. Yeah, cool. I probably would put this one on top. What can we do with this one? Let's see, what would this look like? Just do like a simple RGB sort of thing. Let's take that off. I'm going to duplicate this one, see what else we can do to it. Whoops. I think I'm getting a little laggy. Let me make sure I save before Resolume crashes. Now I'm not really adding effects. Like when I do this and I'm taking one clip and trying to create a bunch of different looks from it, I'm not really focusing on like changing the color too much or adding things like edge detection, all of that stuff, because I'm thinking like that's stuff that I can do like afterwards or like when I'm actually performing with the clips. So I try to keep it simple and try to keep the original image like untouched from like certain things like color or I might add some distortion, but I think to myself, if this is something that I'm going to sell or if I have other people use, I want them to be able to add their own effects on top of it. instead of like already putting the effects like on it. But yeah, it just depends. It just really depends sometimes. I'm gonna add, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. We're gonna add this tunnel effect, and I'm gonna add a mirror. And we're gonna add a mirror. I think I want the mirror under the tunnel effect, if I can. Yeah, like that. Let's see, will a tilt shift look interesting or not? You really can't see it. Okay. Okay, I'm just going through, and this is literally all I do. I just kind of, sometimes I might have an idea of what it is that I'm trying to create. And I think that's just due to practice and kind of playing around with all the effects, so I kind of know what they do, or if, you know, I might be a little bit aware of the sort of look they might help me achieve. But other than that, yeah, I'm just kind of like dropping stuff in, taking stuff out. I do like this effect, so yeah, so completely created this with one clip. And just kept, I don't really think this is gonna, let me change the positioning of this. If I put it at the bottom, not really doing much. All right, so I'm gonna take that out. And sometimes I'm just curious. I think it requires just being curious about what things do. What is this point? Kaleidoscope can always be cool. Let me move it to a different spot. Let's put it all the way to the bottom. Okay, that's kind of cool. Just doing this kaleidoscope thingy. Let's move it above the tunnel effect. It's kind of doing something. I'll keep it. We're going to update the thumbnail because I really like this look. And I might add a levels. I will sometimes play around with the brightness a little bit. Did I put it over here? Where's it at? Okay. You know, it depends. Okay, something like that. And so I would have this look. Actually, let me take this off. I'm gonna have that. Yeah. So basically that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 clips. So we have 8 clips here. through like a pulsate. I'll use pulsate on that to add a little bit of contrast. I could duplicate this. I could also add a blur to give it, look at this blur, to kind of give it this like depth of field sort of look as well. Yeah, let's see how, yeah, like that. All right, so to overview what I currently have here, because there's various things. So for this one, all I really have is 2 mirror modifiers and a radial cloner. For this one, I have cube tiles, mirror, a radial cloner, a grid cloner, and I threw a tilt shift up there. This one I think also is just like a mirror and a radial cloner. I have the original guy, then I have the mirrored guy, then down here all I have is a radial cloner, a kaleidoscope, another 2 mirror effects, polka dots, polar kaleidoscope, and a tonal effect to get this. This one, yet again, mirror, radial cloner, and the bendoscope. I might change this one up a little bit. I might alter it. I don't know. I don't know if I like that one as much as I like the others. Then with this one, just have a mirror and radial cloner. And yeah, this is the grid cloner. And I have a levels effect up here as well that's causing the pulsating with the light and dark. And same thing, but I decided to add a blur effect to this. And yeah. So really, like, how long did this take? What, this took like about 30 minutes just to come up with these 8 different looks just from one image. And I like to do this and like to show creators that, like, even if your loop library isn't like really big, you can still create a lot of cool looks with the clips that you already have. Now, the sort of clip is definitely going to change how it looks. Like, if I was to take another image and put the same effects that I have on these on it, it might look completely different, because it just kind of depends on, you know, like, is it a PNG? You know, is the image, you know, like does it fit? Like, let me try. I'm gonna go through what I currently have. So wait. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy. Oh gosh. Wait. Hold up. I'm gonna copy and paste these, and I'm gonna drop a different image on top of them so we can see just how much it might change. What do I have that's kind of like isolated? So we will take this. Oops. We're gonna take this alien a 3D model that I rendered out in Blender, and so I'm gonna take it and I'm just going to drag and drop it on each one of these effects over here, and we're just gonna look at them to see what it'll look like. Okay, first one, it looks kind of cool. I'm also gonna update the thumbnail. So for some things it'll work great, but if this was like a full-on, you know, 1920 video that had like a background, if it didn't have an alpha or anything, it would probably look very different. So the next one, we have this effect. That's kind of cool. So it still looks nice. Yeah, and then that's just a double. Let's go down to the bottom. You know, same thing, but just green. This one is kind of trippy too. And then same thing but blur. So it still works, but depending on like the clip that I'm originally using, I might would have to tweak some things a little bit more. But yeah. Cool. So that was a fun little project. That was my one image challenge that I like to do sometimes when I'm working with Resolume, or when I'm just working with limited clips or limited artwork. I just kind of like to take my own artwork and see what I can turn it into. So yeah, I think that'll be the end of this stream. Yeah, I'll probably do some more like this as I create more artwork. I will be doing like more little challenges like this, just to kind of push myself and to also just push the limits of what I think I know when it comes to Resolume and the effects that are already present. So yeah. All right, well, that is all for now, and yeah, I'll see you guys around.